Hello dear learners, I hope you all are doing good. So welcome back to my channel and I hope your preparation is going even better. Okay, so we have been starting our crash course on YouTube and we are already done with formalism and new criticism. So if you haven't watched the videos already, do watch them because everything is chronologically connected, and that's why I have been taking all the session in a very sequence and in a very chronological way so that you understand better. And before I proceed further, I want you to know that do join my Telegram channel for any further updates, for latest updates. If you have any query, write down in the Telegram group and I will take your queries. Also, keep the comment section engaging. So do write down if you want me to come up with any difficult topics video, or you have any question, any query related to the topic or any topic, and let's keep the comment section engaging, and like, share and subscribe with your friends as always. So moving further, we will study structuralism, one of the most important topics, and questions do come from this section. Okay, 5 to 6 marks you can score if you study this section properly. If you have the conceptual clarity, you can actually ace the questions, because what happens is in literary theory that we study the concept, we are thorough with the concept at times, but we are not able to solve the question. So we are going to bridge this gap. Now, whenever we are seeing structuralism, so what did we learn in new criticism? New criticism say that if we are analyzing any kind of text, we need not look at the background, we need not look at the genre, we need not look at what the writer's background was, who wrote this book, because it says that it might have some preconceived notions, you might have some prejudice in your mind. But structuralism says that whenever we are studying a text, we need to know about the background, we need to know about the historical context, we need to know about the pattern. For example, I have taken two important examples for structuralism, so let's have a look at it. For example, there's a solar system. Okay, we know there's a solar system. Now we have sun, and then we have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Earth, Jupiter, so on and so forth, who these planets are surrounding sun, so it has a complete structure. Now if we go further, we have Earth, and on Earth we have different countries. In countries we have India, in India we have states. Okay, we have districts, we have villages. So that's how it's a complete structure. Now that's what the name in itself says, structuralism, right? Now, to have a better clarity, I have taken few points. For example, educational institutes, they constitute of a proper structure. Marriages have a structure. Curriculum, each curriculum, they have a structure of what should be the syllabus of the academics, what should be the curriculum for sports, what should be the curriculum for creative activities. Okay, so that's how all the patterns, all the structures work in our society. Then we have UGC net preparation. UGC net preparation, we have paper 1, we have paper 2. In paper 2, we have different sections. One of the section is literary theory. Then in literary theory, we have a structuralism. And right now we are studying structuralism. So it consists of a proper structure. When we know about the structure, when we know about the syllabus, only then we can actually study for any exam. Okay, we need to know the syllabus. So even it has a structure, and after knowing the structure, it gives us a better understanding. Okay, moving further. The most important writer for structuralism, Ferdinand de Saussure. Okay, now we are going to see him and we'll see the important works. Course in General Linguistics, he wrote this work. And while writing this work, okay, so he gave a lot of lectures, okay, in the University of Geneva. And when he was giving the lectures, so these lectures were combined in a book. He did not actually write the book, but he gave lectures. So very important. Okay. And Roy Harris was one of his translators who translated his works into some important books, and that's how we know Ferdinand de Saussure. And he was someone who actually started structuralism. Because of him, structuralism actually started. He gave a direction to structuralism. A lot of chronological questions are coming in literary theory, so we are going to have a look at all the important points, all the targeted points. Now, it was the starting point of structural linguistics. He gave two important concepts, very important concepts. Do not miss it and stay tuned throughout the video so that we can discuss almost all the important points related to structuralism. So we have signifier and then we have signified. And he also gave the concept of Lang and Parole. Every year question is asked from Lang and Parole. And if you study Lang and Parole from this section, from this video, your question will not be wrong. Your question is going to be definitely right, because in every cycle, every shift, they ask Lang or Parole. Okay, if there are two shifts, then in one of the shifts, they will ask you Lang and Parole. But initially, we are going to see signifier, signified. So what is signifier? Signifier is a word. Okay, signifier means a word. For example, I say lion. So lion is a word, right? Now, what does we associate lion with? We associate lion, at times we associate it with danger. Okay, whenever we are going into any safari or wildlife safari, we feel a sense of danger. So whenever lion comes to our mind, we know that there is danger around, or we feel a sense of fear. Or we can also relate to it, lion is equals to bravery. Okay, because he's brave, he has got some strength, he has got strength more than any other animal. Okay, a lot of animals are inferior to lion. Then we have a word king. Okay, if we look at king, we do associate king with a certain power, or we do associate king with a certain authority, certain position. So we can associate it with crown. So this is signified. Signified is the concept. Signified is a complete concept. Whenever we say a word, the feeling which comes into our brain or into our heart, okay, the concept which comes, for example, I say cow, okay, so you will not get the feeling of danger. If I say cow, okay, you will get a feeling of something which is giving you, which is giving us nutritional value. So we are not threatened by some words, but by some words we are threatened. So the concept is signified and the word is signifier. And two, three more things which Ferdinand de Saussure mentioned is that the relationship between signifier and signified is arbitrary. Okay, arbitrary का मतलब क्या होता है? Arbitrary का मतलब कि वो कोई भी एक ऐसा रिलेशनशिप नहीं है जो बहुत ही ज्यादा कंक्रीट है, जो कि बहुत ही ज्यादा फैक्ट्स पे बेस्ड है. While we were growing up, our parents told that it is a cow. So we started saying it cow. There is no scientific evidence that this creature made by God should be said cow, or should be said dog, or should be said horse. Only because we are wired in a way that certain things, okay, for example, the t-shirt I'm wearing, the color is called as orange. But how does it become orange? Only because we are pre-wired from our childhood to know that this colored name is orange. That's why we are saying it orange. Otherwise, there is no scientific evidence or fact to say this orange, or say it something, an animal cow, or to say an animal horse. So that is what I'm trying to say, and that is what I'm trying you to understand. It is culturally constructed, because culturally everybody is saying this, everybody, we are seeing everyone around us saying these things. So that's how we understand this. And it is not natural. This is not at all natural. We've just given them a name. Okay. Now the next concept, which is Lang and Parole. Very important concept. Very, very important. What is Lang? Okay, let's understand this. Lang is all the technicalities. For example, whenever we learn a new language, if you have learned any language, okay, for example, French, German, Spanish, to any language, Chinese, Japanese, okay, some of your friends must be learning any language or doing any language course. So Lang means grammar, syntax, okay, the technicalities of language, punctuations which do come, okay. And Parole means the usage of that language, okay. For example, we know about all the technicalities, but the application part is Parole. We have learned the mathematical equation, but when we apply it in practical life, okay, when software engineers, they actually make a website, they actually make an application, okay, For example, whenever we are learning a language, when we actually speak a language, we have learned it, we know all the grammatical rules, but if we're not able to speak, what's the point? Parole is the speaking of the language, when we speak, when we use the language. Okay, so parole means speaking. Parole is equals to speaking and lang is equals to grammar. तो इसको थोड़ा सा याद कर लेना. Lang में we have G, so grammar. Parole में we have P, so it is related to speaking. ठीक है, जिससे थोड़ा सा आपको याद रहा है, आप कंफ्यूज नाउ, बिकॉज repeated question have been asked from here again and again. Then we have a next very important writer for structuralism, Charles Sanders Peirce, and he gave three very important concepts, very basic concepts. You will understand them in a go. Okay, not very difficult. So icon, he gave icon, index, and symbol. So he says that what is an icon? Icon is the physical resemblance. So whenever we go for a passport size photo, it is our actual copy. Right now I'm teaching you in a video lecture, so it is my actual copy of my physical appearance. Now moving on to the index. Okay, this is what is icon. Moving on to the index. What is index? So whenever there is a sign, okay, there is a danger and there is a board for red, okay, or there is a sign of danger, so we know that we don't have to go beyond that. Obviously we can go and have adventure, but practically we won't go out there, okay, especially if we are with our guardians. Then we have symbol. What is symbol? Symbol is that the sign and the concept are not related to each other at all. For example, what could be the symbols? For example, Facebook. Now Facebook does not have a actual, like, what do we do on Facebook? It is a social media app. Okay, we post our pictures, but does the concept relate with the word? No, the word is just given like that. Instagram, does it have any concept related to the word? Does Instagram means posting pictures, posting your videos, posting reels? No, it is just a sign, it is just a name. Okay, so that is what is symbol according to Charles Sanders Peirce. All right, so I have given you here the picture of Instagram, Facebook, and for index I would want to give you one more example, that whenever there is a smoke, so there's fire, a sign of smoke is given. If they would have given the sign of fire, then it would become icon because physical resemblance. But if they have given the sign of smoke, okay, direct link between the sign and object. Okay, so if they have given the sign of smoke, then that's when we have a link between them. Not exact link, but yes, there's a link. And then when we move on to the symbols, there is no resemblance. On index, we have resemblance. On icon, we have resemblance. On index, we don't have actual resemblance. ठीक है, इसको indirect link बोल सकते हैं हम. So we will write indirect link. And then on symbol, we have no resemblance. Okay. Moving on to our next writer, which is Claude Lévi-Strauss. Now, what did Claude Lévi-Strauss say? So he gave a very important concept, structural anthropology. Anthropology is also an optional subject in UPSC. Some of you must be preparing for UPSC examination. Students who are preparing for UGC NET, they do prepare for UPSC at times. So anthropology is one of the very famous optional in UPSC. Okay. So what is anthropology? Anthropology is study of humans. Study of humans' conditions, study of humans culturally and biologically as well. Now, Claude Lévi-Strauss says that we are talking about structuralism. So he says that every society has a kind of structure. Every society has some universal concepts. Now, how do we understand a language? Okay, that's a different topic. First, we will look at the anthropology. So he says that, every human, so anthropology basically means study of human conditions, relationships, okay, how they are culturally developed and how they are as individuals and how they are biologically. Okay, fine. Moving on to the next concept given by Claude Lévi-Strauss, and he's also one of the most important writer of structuralism. How to understand a language. Okay, so he has given one important concept, binary opposition. Now, how they will ask you the question? they will give you a PYQ and they will ask you that, who gave the concept of binary opposition, and they will give you CS Peirce or Charles, ओके या फिर क्लॉड लेवी स्ट्रॉस दे देंगे या फिर चार्ल्स पियर्स दे देंगे या फिर आपको और भी राइटर्स दे सकते हैं, तो इनमें कंफ्यूज मत होना। तो इनके जो कॉन्सेप्ट है बहुत ही क्रिस्टल क्लियर आपको पता होने चाहिए कि आपको सीएस पियर ने कौन सा दिया था और क्लॉड लेवी स्ट्रॉस ने कौन सा दिया था। तो बाइनरी ऑपोजिशन और हमारे जो एंथ्रोपोलॉजी है ये क्लॉड लेवी स्ट्रॉस ने दिया है, थोड़ा सा नाम जो है वो बड़ा है, याद रखना। तो बाइनरी ऑपोजिशन में क्या होता है, इन्होंने बोला है कि हम किसी भी लैंग्वेज को कैसे समझते हैं, हाउ डू वी अंडरस्टैंड लैंग्वेज, क्योंकि लैंग्वेज का कोई एक्चुअल मीनिंग नहीं होता, कोई फैक्ट्स पे नहीं है लैंग्वेज, कोई साइंटिफिक रीजन नहीं है इसका। वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज डे, दैट इट इज मॉर्निंग, व्हाई, बिकॉज वी नो इट इज नॉट डार्क आउटसाइड, इट इज नॉट नाइट। वी अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज अ फीमेल इज व्हाट इज who is not a male or who is a male. A male is someone who is not a female. That's how we understand male and female. Now, how do we understand life and death? Okay, someone who is alive, he is having life in himself or herself. That's how we understand language in binary opposition, in the opposition of each other. How do we understand white color? Because it is not dark, it is not black. How do we understand black? Because it is not white. And then the third concept and the last concept for the day, and a very important one, questions do come from this section also, myths and kinship given by Claude Lévi-Strauss. Once again, ठीक है, question आ सकता है, important है। It is a universal concept, ठीक है, ये एक universal concept है। Need for progress, okay, it says about the need of progress. Now what does it say? That in every society, हर एक सोसाइटी में क्या होता है कि एक सिमिलर चीज होती है, नीड फॉर प्रोग्रेस, नीड टू प्रोग्रेस इन लाइफ, टू प्रोग्रेस इन जनरल। एवरी सोसाइटी, एवरी अदर society or any country, why did colonization happen? Why did England wanted to colonize other countries? Because they wanted to become superpower. They wanted to have a power over themselves so that they can become more economically strong than other countries. Obviously, after World War I, the things changed, but universal concept means that they do have a need to progress in life. For example, we see that, in Homer's Iliad, there was this Trojan War. For whom? For Helen. Okay, and we see similar things in Mahabharata, that Mahabharata happened not exactly because of that reason, but that was one of the important factor and one of the important event, okay, because of the reason why that Draupadi incident happened in Mahabharata. So that's how similar things are happening across culture, geographically as well. So that's what Claude Lévi-Strauss wanted to emphasize here when he was giving this concept of myth and kinship, that everyone wanted to progress. Even we as individuals now want to progress, okay, we want to go ahead of our batchmates, we want to go ahead in the competition, we want to go ahead with the students we are studying for any competitive exam, for example UGC NET or any exam you're giving right now. So whosoever wants the PDF, you can join the Telegram channel. That's all for today. Stay tuned on my channel and do write in the comment section how did you like the lecture and what more videos you want me to come up with. Happy learning.